Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In-Depth.
Now on HHS In-Depth, reporter Michael Foxworthy tells us about the Spanish Department's Educational Impact Grants.
Plus, we'll get you caught up on Homestead's newest Habitat for Humanity Club.
And we'll take a look at Homestead's newest addition, the ESports Club.
And later, that bitter cold weather is set to return. And I'll let you know just how cold it's going to get this weekend.
And I'll break down all the highlights over the past week of Spartan athletics in Down to the Wire.
All that and so much more
Coming up today on HHS In-Depth.
Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, January 23rd, and thank you for joining us today on HHS In-Depth. I'm Kaya.
And I'm Braxton Hall. And Kaya, with all the cold weather recently, it's had me dreaming about summer and finally getting the opportunity to travel someplace warm.
I agree with you. And speaking of traveling, recently the Homestead Spanish Department secured funding from the Sachs Foundation through Educational Impact Grants. The funding will support 2 special opportunities for students before the end of the semester, an exciting travel experience led by Senor Pieper, and an upcoming field trip led by Dr. Robinson. Reporter Michael Foxworthy joins us now with more details.
Just recently, the Sachs Foundation has begun giving out grants for educational projects throughout the district, and with many different options to choose from, Homestead's own Spanish department was able to take home 2 grants for 2 separate events.
What we did was we're taking a group of students to Spain over spring break this year. 19 students are going with us. What we applied for was a chance to do 2 different activities in Spain that we weren't going to be able to do otherwise. And one of those activities is to take the students to the top of a famous church called La Sagrada Familia.
Due to funding, the students would have originally just been able to view the cathedral. But now, thanks to Sachs funding, they'll be given the chance to take an elevator to the top and see the amazing view in person. And a few days later, the same grant will be funding a meal of authentic Spanish tapas for the students at a restaurant called Casa Vani.
So we're going to take the students to our favorite restaurant in Valencia, let them have an authentic meal of tapas, and thanks to the Sachs Foundation, we'll be able to cover that meal.
This trip is being held over spring break, but the second grant is going to be used for an event around early May, in which Homestead Spanish classes will take a field trip to interview Spanish-speaking players from the Fort Wayne Tin Caps.
So the Spanish 2 students are reading a novel that's set in the Dominican Republic, and it's about a famous baseball player named Felipe Alou. And so they're going to be asking questions of different Spanish speakers who are on the team, who maybe are from the Dominican Republic or from the Caribbean, and asking them questions about like what was their life like growing up there, like how are like cultural differences between the U.S. and the islands, and just, practicing their Spanish skills with different people.
With the grants introduced this year, the Homestead Spanish Department will be able to enhance the learning experience in ways never before possible. Michael Foxworthy, HHS In-Depth.
Thanks for the story, Michael.
And now we go beyond Homestead.
In state news, on Monday, the Indiana Hoosiers football team captured their first ever national title as they took down the Miami Hurricanes 27-21 in the College Football Playoff National Championship game at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. The win marked the end of a storybook season for the Hoosiers, who under the leadership of second-year head coach Curt Cignetti became the first team to go 16-0 in the history of modern Division I FBS football. Hoosier quarterback and this year's Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza was named Offensive MVP of the game as he scored the eventual game-winning touchdown with 9 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. The victory makes the Hoosiers the first team to win their first national championship since the Florida Gators in 1996, as well as the first team to earn their maiden national title in the championship game era. In local news, Allen County Superior Court Judge Fran Gohl announced earlier this week that she will retire at the end of the year. Gull has served on the court for nearly 30 years, dating back to her first election in 1996. In a statement released with the announcement, Gull said, quote, "I chose not to run for re-election because I would not complete another 6-year term and do not wish to suggest to the voters that I would complete that term. It has been the honor and privilege of my life to serve the citizens of Allen County and the state of Indiana as a criminal court judge. Together with my colleagues, past and present, I have hoped to establish one of the best judiciaries in the state." End quote. Gull's seat on the court will be filled during this fall's midterm election. Stick around, more HHS In-Depth is coming up next.
Environmental Club is proud to announce
our brand new recycling roadmap to help you recycle the right way here at school. With brand new things you are able to recycle, so now you should recycle in addition to clean paper and cardstock, clean plastic, clean glass, and clean aluminum. Things you shouldn't recycle include gum, Kleenex, any caps and lids, or anything with food scraps.
It's simple. Clean it, sort it, recycle it right, follow the recycling roadmap, and keep our planet shining bright.
Welcome back to HHS In-Depth.
A new club has launched at Homestead with a focus on serving the community and preparing students to become active civic leaders. The group has partnered with Habitat for Humanity after co-presidents Avi Mahswari and Tejas Nayaharkar made a connection with a board member who is interested in starting a high school chapter.
In the club, we're going to be focusing a lot on like community service projects, especially in like construction, building shelter. Starting off in the first year, we're going to be looking at like building like our foundation, like getting fundraisers set up and tool drives, and also teaching our club members about community service and leadership.
The Habitat for Humanity Club will hold its next call-out meeting Wednesday, January 28th in Ms. Stonger's room. If you have questions about joining the club or its initiatives, you can email Avi and Tejas using the address shown below.
After months of planning, the eSports Club has officially launched at Homestead, featuring 2 competitive teams that scrimmage against other schools in the Fort Wayne area. While eSports is new to Homestead, the activity has gained worldwide recognition, including scholarship opportunities for graduating seniors. The club is set to become a varsity certified sport next fall and will officially compete at the National eSports Tournament level.
So we are absolutely looking for new members. We would like to build this program out with more games. There are plenty more games on the roster besides Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Marvel Rivals. But mostly it's just the social aspect of it, I think, which is huge. The leadership stuff, the teamwork stuff, working together as people, coming together to achieve a goal. I think it's great.
The eSports Club is currently looking for additional members to join its 2 teams, Super Smash Bros. And Marvel Rivals, as well as adult assistant coaches or helpers. If you're interested or have questions about joining, you can contact club sponsor Mr. DeFries or club president Alex Potter using the email addresses shown below.
While some teachers keep classroom pets like turtles or fish, Mr. Arata has a more unusual companion, Madagascar hissing cockroaches. After starting with just a few, he quickly found himself caring for an entire colony, and with so many on hand, Mr. Arata has even given them to students for graduation gifts or fun keepsakes. Beyond allowing students to take them home, he's created an interactive classroom tradition by challenging students to earn a high enough score to officially name a cockroach, a tradition that's been going strong for several years. The cockroaches have become a unique way to connect students, helping many face their fears while developing a greater understanding and appreciation for all creatures. If you're interested in meeting these insects or learning how to take one home, you can contact Mr. Arata at the email address shown below.
As I mentioned a little bit earlier, the Indiana Hoosiers won the college football championship game this past Monday, and the Yearbook staff is planning coverage of this historic moment for this year's Yearbook. If you're a student or staff member that attended the game, hosted or went to a watch party or celebrated in a fun way, they'd love to feature your experience. Please send photos of your celebrations to Mr. Manko at the email address shown below. Submissions are due by the end of the day today to be included.
Speaking of the yearbook, seniors should note that the deadline for submitting a traditional senior quote is quickly approaching. The final day to submit your quote is February 2nd. For more information, visit the yearbook's Instagram page or contact Grace Cox at the email address shown below.
Spartan seniors, several new scholarships have been added to the Homestead Scholarships page, including the Student Government Senior Scholarship and the Sabert Scholarship, which will be awarded exclusively to Homestead High School seniors. Select scholarships under the Guidance tab on the HHS website for information on how to apply for these. And Kai, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of all these freezing temperatures. It seems like the weather's rarely above 0 degrees recently.
I definitely agree with you. I don't like the cold temperatures either, but I do really like all the 2 hour delays and snow days, which ends up making the cold weathers a little bit more tolerable.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite part of the winter. Now to tell us more about the cold temperatures and what people can expect this weekend, here's weather reporter Caroline Burns. Caroline, what can they expect?
Well, guys, unfortunately, you might want to make sure that your plans are inside this weekend because the temperatures sure aren't getting any higher. Today, you can expect mostly cloudy skies with a high barely hitting the double digits at just 10 degrees and a below freezing low of -2 degrees. One of the coldest days we've had thus far this winter for sure. Saturday is looking just as chilly with a 1 degree drop, bringing the high to 9 degrees. Expect some light winds to make the day feel even brisker and a low of 4 degrees. You'll want to avoid being outside this weekend due to severe weather alerts for these harsh conditions. Now, Sunday rounds up our weekend with an ever so slightly more promising high of 16 degrees, but expect snow showers in the morning to add to the mix. The night will once again dip down to the single digits at 5 degrees. Well, after that rather depressing forecast, I do have some good news, that being that January is climatologically the coldest month of the year. So here's hoping these freezing conditions will stop ruining our walks to and from school. I, for one, am seriously hoping that Mother Nature decides to have some mercy on us Hoosiers in the upcoming weeks.
Thank you, Caroline, for filling us in on this weekend's weather forecast.
Stick around, more HHS In-Depth is still to come, including an all-new Down to the Wire with Bella Cook.
Tonight, it's the penultimate SAC doubleheader of the season as your Homestead Spartans travel to take on the Northside Legends. Catch all the action with tip-off of Game 1 at 6 p.m. on the .91 FM or come out and support the team in person.
From buzzer beaters to record-breaking routines, welcome to this week's edition of Down to the Wire. I'm Bella Cook. Let's tip off this edition of Down to the Wire with girls basketball, who were in a top 3 showdown at number 1 Warsaw on Tuesday. Our third-ranked Spartans took out the first-ranked Tigers 66-52. The 4 Spartan seniors were phenomenal. Led by Carly Mollering's 21 points, Gabby Helsom added 14 points with 5 rebounds, Whitney Inkenbrook had 13 points, and Maya Epps had 8 points with 4 assists. The win pushes Homestead's record to 19-2 on the season. The girls will be back in action tonight at Northside. Tip-off is set for 7:45 following the boys' game in a doubleheader. We also want to congratulate senior Maya Epps, who was named the IBCA Player of the Week for the entire state of Indiana for her performance last week. Last Friday, Maya scored a career-high 42 points, one away from the school record in the girls' 83-61 win over Snyder. Congratulations, Maya. Staying on the hardwood, after Ryder Immel's last-second heroics helped Homestead knock off Marion last Saturday, the boys fell to Columbia City on Tuesday 60-43. They are back tonight at Northside in the first game of the boys-girls doubleheader at 6 p.m. The action moves from the court to the pool with swim and dive. Last Thursday, the dive team competed at home versus Concordia and DeWinger. Elle Hollingsworth came in first with a score of 438.15, and Elle Heminger placed third. Both the dive and swim team hit the pool again this Saturday at North Central. On Tuesday, the girls' gymnastics team dominated Warsaw, winning 112.175 to 86.275. The Spartans placed top 4 in every event with several standout performances. Jillian Krieger led the way, placing first in all 4 events and earning a 38.475 to take first place all around. Molly Wilkins followed closely with a 36.700, while Caitlin Reynolds and Reese Halter rounded the top group, just behind Wilkins. They will compete in the Carter Classic tomorrow at Concordia. Before we end today, it's time to announce the Spartan Athletes of the Week. Congratulations to this week's duo. From girls wrestling, Amelia Stark, and from boys wrestling, Callan Ulrey. Amelia competed at the state meet last weekend, earning a 4th place regional finish and a sectional championship. And Callan secured a pin against Adams Central and played a key role in the team's win over Jay County. Be sure to pick up your award in the athletic office. That'll do it for today's edition of Down to the Wire. Good luck to all Homestead athletes in competition this weekend. You can make sure to stay up to date with all Homestead sports by following Homestead Athletics on Instagram and Twitter. Braxton and Kaya, back to you.
Thank you, Bella, and thank you all for watching our show today.
Make sure to follow our socials to keep up with the latest news from Homestead Media.
We look forward to seeing you again next week for another episode of HHS In-Depth.
Enjoy your weekend, Homestead.